Where everybody needs to be caffeinated. We're ready to rock out the startup arena. You guys pumped or what?
I want to catch up with you. Do you have 5 minutes?
Okay, cue the pyrotechnics and roll that. There's no pyrotechnics, but I think a couple of you are actually expecting that for a little bit. So we have 4 awesome judges, and we have 8 awesome companies that are going to rumble. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? Come on, this is the best part. The startups. I'm going to introduce all of the judges in turn, bring them up, and then we're going to have our first battler in the startup arena, our first gladiator. We're going to present for 5 minutes, and then they're going to go in front of the judges, kind of an inquisition, and be tested. Their mettle will be tested, and then we're going to go to the next one. So we have 8 of these in a row, and that's about 80 minutes, and I think that's right. Actually, I want to share with you guys, I recently got a very, very nice compliment. Somebody told me I wasn't as stupid as I looked. They said because it's not possible. That's good, right? Isn't that good? I think that's good. Nobody's actually listening to me at all. It's okay. It's all right. I'm in Singapore. It's 50-degree differential, -17 in Beijing the other morning, and 33 here, so I'll take it. So I'm going to introduce our first judge. I want you guys to give me juice at the end of every one of these. We've seen him before, we're seeing him again, Singapore's own, James Tan from Tuan. Tuan. Thank you very much. We also have Eric Ko, he's the co-founder of Job Center, coming up on stage. They got acquired by Career Builders. Nice exit. Who doesn't like exits? Nobody. That's awesome. Love to see it. We also have Ash, who's the co-founder of Interactive.sg, and he's the creator and also runs Angels Gate, which is very well known. I got to check it out myself. I'm looking forward to it. So he's well suited to be up here. And last but certainly not least, Daniel Sato, who's the founder of MySQL. You heard me correctly. MySQL sold to Oracle for a cool $1 billion recently, ladies and gentlemen. Here up on stage. He's also the founder of SkySQL, which he's now restarted. Pretty awesome. So our first battler, I know them well. They were incubated in China, so I know them from their incubator, China Accelerator, where I'm a proud mentor. The 2 founders, I Ching and Andre, are going to come up and talk about Piktochart, which is a web app that helps people create engaging presentations out of data. Piktochart, give me some juice, everybody. Let's go.
Hello. Hi, everybody. We are Ai-Ching and Andrea from Piktochart, and we use interactive infographics to create engaging presentations. So 2 years ago, Andrea and I were working in a corporate environment where we found this thing called infographics, and it almost turned our world upside down. Because instead of the boring reports and data presentations that we were looking at, we saw this instead. So, we also knew then that 32% of people would rather go to sleep than be in the typical presentation. The problem that we're trying to solve here is a serious one. It's data overload. The fact that there's so much of information out there and so little attention to consume them all. In the next 30 seconds, we'll be taking you from this raw data here into a Piktochart infographic, which looks like that. So as a user, you first be logging in, and then you select a theme. That one will be preloaded like that, and then you can also, with one click of a mouse, change the mood. So if you wanted to change colors, do it with one click. If you wanted to change the fonts, do it with one click as well. And then you can also edit information by adding shapes, by adding graphics, by adding text, and also a visualization tool. So let's try to complete this infographic now, shall we? So let's say about 10,000 name cards have been exchanged in this one particular event. That sounds about reasonable. And how many new startup users per startup? Maybe 500, maybe more. And how many conversations on Twitter and Facebook on Startup Asia? Let's go with a nice number. 12,345 conversations. And so well done. There we have saved and we can create an infographic, export it and embed it on websites using JPEG, PNG, and HTML. More importantly, so that Google can find you. So what we've just seen was how a company could easily create an infographic using Piktochart for the users. So that it's so much more exciting to learn about the information or the products or the services that the company has to offer. But we mentioned that we're an interactive infographic company, did we? So where's the interaction? So far, it's been all the companies giving information, the users have no say. So with the new version of Piktochart, you're able to then, as a user, come up with what sort of data you want to see within the infographic. So then you can interact, and the companies can also collect data based on the interactions. And we're going to show you an example as well. So here is a user. We'll be asking you questions like, where are you from? So let's click on Asia. Which kind of smartphone are you using? Let's go for Apple. Which of the following best describes what you do? So let's say marketing. And what kind of company are you working? Is it small, medium, large? And after you answer a couple of these questions, we have a basic profile of who you are. And more importantly, you can also key your email and your name. This serves for the companies to generate more leads out of the profiles that you've just created. And then, this is the interactive infographic that we are talking about. The information that you see on this screen is real time. So if all of you went on the website right now, which is piktochart.com/persona, and you clicked on Asia, you'll be seeing the number 22.2 increase significantly. And that's for infographics consumption. So if you were to tell us that you created 10 infographics in the past, we would be likely to show you advanced features. We won't be showing you the basic stuff. And this is just one example of how companies can then make suitable and personalized recommendations on their products and services. So after taking a look at the product, now we're going to look at the business model. We're freemium, so there is a free version for all. And there's also a paid subscription and a crowdsourced marketplace to increase the number of themes available online. 3 months ago, we were 500 signups. Today, we're 2,000 signups. We've spoken to over 20 companies who love what we're doing and cannot wait to see the next release. We've also raised seed funding. And this is the team that's behind Piktochart. That's me, Aijing, for business development. And this is Andrea for product development. We've both graduated from China Accelerator 2011, some of our advisors. We'd like to thank you very much for your time. And don't forget to go on piktochart.com/persona to check it out. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your time. It's always good to see companies that have a little bit of money and a little bit of traction around their business, so congrats on that. But let me just kind of jump into things. When we look at companies, we're always looking for companies that have a very clear plan in terms of what they want to achieve and how they're going to disrupt the market. When I was looking at your presentation, I wasn't sure if this is a company that's replacing PowerPoint, like Prezzo or something like that, or you're a survey company, or you're a dashboard company, right? So it's very unclear to me because, and even the way you called your business, it's an interactive infographic. What is it? Interactive?
Infographic.
What else? What's after that?
No, we just said that it engages using interactive infographics.
Okay, so that kind of confused me as well, because infographic is actually a new word.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you're pitching to investors, it's always good to use words that you readily understand.
Yeah.
Right? So my question to you is, what is it? What is your company?
Okay, so we started off as a visual editor for infographics, for people to be then able to cut, break information down from big data into smaller chunks so that it becomes more understandable. right? And infographics are all vertical, they're not slide-based. Basically, you scroll down the page and you read all about it. They're filled with graphics, they're filled with short information that will really capture your attention. And then from the beta feedback, what we got was that people were not just interested in big data, right? They were interested in something that was more interactive, where the users can then personalize what they see on the screen. And so then we came up with the next version.
Okay. As a data guy, I have to ask, where is the data source coming from? Is it user inputted, or is it actually pulling it from the database? How's it doing?
Okay, so right now, with the basic data visualization upload, we have it on XML, CSV, and Google Docs. So that's going to be available for the Pro version users, and the free version users will not be able to do that.
I would like to ask you to elaborate a bit more on who your target audience are. What kind of users do you expect to use the product, and how does it relate to your pricing?
Okay, so the people that we have found that wanted to use the products are from the marketing, the branding, so people who are working in SMEs or large corporations as well. They also come from data agencies, they come from branding agencies, they're typical employees who want to make presentations or reports, for example, for their clients as well. So then how it relates to the subscription model is that we find that these people don't just create one-off infographics, they do it on a recurring basis, which is why it makes more sense for them to pay monthly to use unlimited themes instead of one-off.
The last time we met was in Beijing when you did your pitch.
Yes.
So it's very good to see that you have gotten from 500 to now 2,000 users. My question is, how many of these are paying customers?
We haven't launched the paid version yet. We're planning to launch it in the middle of February. Because we graduated in China Insider 2011, and that was with, if you remember, a drag and drop prototype.
Well, I have another question here. I noticed that your graphical visualization, they are not really dynamic. Is that supposed to be the way? Because my impression of infographics is that like your Venn diagrams will change in size. The number of icons that you use reflects the percentage or something like that.
Yeah. So by dynamic, do you mean that they're going to be animated? Or?
As in, I don't think your graphics are changing. You're just plugging in numbers into some pre-static graphic.
Yeah, for the interactive version that we've shown, so what you all call the survey, the numbers will change reflective of what people click right now. So if everybody in this room clicks on Asia, that number will change, and the graphics are supposed to change as well, based on exactly what you have selected.
How are we for time? Okay. I just want to, this idea of your product, again, you're saying is you have 2,000 users, okay? And you have evolved your product based on these 2,000 users.
Yep.
It's touching on a couple of different points. In terms of monetization, I think that's very, very important, right? So your $10 price model, where did you get at that? And where do you want to evolve from there? I mean, I'm not very clear in terms of your monetization strategy.
Okay.
My second question, because time is almost up, is how do you plan to compete with all the other people that are in this space now? I mean, you have tons of web-based guys that are doing this, and for us, we do infographics. What we do is we send it to India, and we have a guy there that sits there and just draws it out and sends it to me, and it's not $10, but it's close to that much, right? So how are you guys planning to compete in this space and acquire customers?
Hey, I apologize. One minute to answer that. We're a little over time. 1 minute.
Okay, for the second question, in terms of outsourcing, that's precisely why we're building this product. Because people are then asking designers to be able to create them, but it takes time, and usually it doesn't come anywhere close to $10 per month. And that is $10 per month, not $10 per infographic, right? So, and in respect to your first question on how we manage to ask the users, so we have KISS Insights, which is embedded on the website, and then we ask them, what's a fair yearly price you would like to pay for this product? So the answers that we've been getting ranges from $5 per month all the way up to, some people want to pay like $20 one-off, and it depends, but we kind of settled with $10 per month based on the average that we got from the KISS Insights.
Thank you very much. Nicely done. Piktochart, everybody. Getting dragged across the coals. I love it. The sparks are flying. This is where the rubber meets the road. If you have a startup and you're pitching to a VC, you have so much invested in it personally and time-wise, and it's your baby, and you're going to get really, question deeply some of your basic assumptions and really the way that you're actually presenting it. So really, I think there's a lot that can be learned from this. Excellent.